Come with me to a magical place where being labeled the Pork Queen is a compliment, where being nice is just a way of life, and where all leaders of the free world must pass through. Welcome to Iowa. Whether you're a current Iowan, an Iowa expat, or an Iowan at heart, this show is for you. This is the Iowa Podcast. Real Iowans, real talk, no drama. From the Jethro's Barbecue Studio, I'm Justin Brady, and will we be getting a Buc-ee's convenience store here in the near future? I don't know what happened. I have no idea where the Buc-ee's trend came from. I have no idea why it's super hot, but it is. Here we are. Maybe we'll get them in the studio when they build their first Buc-ee's in Norwalk, Iowa. Maybe that'll happen. Who may have the inside track on this is Mayor Tom Phillips of Norwalk. How close are we? Well, I guess first I should say thanks for coming on the show, and then we'll get into Buc-ee's and all about Norwalk.
Yeah,
so thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for inviting me.
We're going to dig into this. We're going to dig into Norwalk. We're going to dig into Buc-ee's. We're going to dig into why you're growing like a freaking weed. Every time I drive through Norwalk, there's 80 new things happening. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Before we do, have you gotten your free Jethro's gift card yet? Jethro's Barbecue, of course, sponsors this show. We love them. And so if you go to iowapodcast.com, scroll to the very top, click the banner, buy a $100 gift card, you get a $30 gift card for free, or just go to Jethro's and say, hey, the Iowa Podcast sent us. They love to hear that. And the more they hear that, the more they'll be sponsoring the show. So please do that. So what's the status on this? Like you have a change.org petition now to bring Buc-ee's to Norwalk. I have to know the backstory here. And of course, everybody wants to know this is why?
Well, why not? It's Buc-ee's. Why not? This, as you're out and about in the town and you just hear things like, wow, have you ever been to Buc-ee's? Buc-ee's is really cool, and we really could use a Buc-ee's, around Norwalk or in central Iowa. And we're in the process of annexing 2,900 acres. That's south and west that will actually go to Interstate 35, and talking about putting an interchange out there. And somebody said, that would be a great place for a Buc-ee's. And it's like, yeah, it would. So what can we do to get Buc-ee's into Iowa? And we've heard about Simon Conway from WHO Radio wants to do the same thing.
Really?
And so we went to we told Simon about this, and he had us on his show. And so, we're trying to bring Buc-ee's to Iowa.
Simon's my old nemesis. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. I filled in for his show a bunch. And so when I was over at iHeart and WHO Radio. So if we need to do something, we need to beat Simon Conway. That's all what we need to do. Okay. So let's be honest, though. Is this does this have real legs? Have you reached out to Buc-ee's at all? Or is it more of like a fun PR kind of stunt?
We haven't reached out to Buc-ee's yet. We're going to, though. We've gotten over 2,000 signatures on the change.org petition at this point in time. We are going to approach the governor to get a letter from her, maybe Debbie Durham from Iowa Economic Development Corporation, to get a letter from her. And we are going to put together a package to send to Buc-ee's to say, hey, why not Norwalk? They're building one. Well, I think Springfield, Missouri is the closest one right now. They're building one in Kansas City, or have one planned to build in Kansas City. They got one planned for, I believe, Madison, Wisconsin, or somewhere around in there. Well, there's a gap there. So why not build one in the middle? And Norwalk's right in the middle.
So again, I'm still catching up on the Buc-ee's trend, everybody, but it's almost become more than a gas station. It's like a tourist destination.
It is.
And for anybody who doesn't understand that, go on YouTube for 5 minutes, and it's like every influencer is doing things on Buc-ee's, or they're taking like journeys across the country to get to a Buc-ee's. I haven't ever visited one, so I'm clearly like really late to this trend. But is this one of the ideas that if you have a Buc-ee's and you're annexing this land that's right on 35, you'll get a lot of traffic stopping by into Norwalk? Is this the idea?
Yeah, that's a lot of the idea, yes, is to get some traffic going. We're right at the crossroads of Interstate 35, Interstate 80.
Yeah.
I know people that will go 30 minutes out of their way on a road trip just to get to Buc-ee's.
Why? Like, what is it? Is it the food? Is it just kind of a fun little pop culture thing?
I think it's a combination of all that. Yeah. It's a great place to get gas. There's usually gas pumps available because, a Buc-ee store will have over 100 gas pumps.
Yeah, I've seen these.
And which is amazing. I've never been to one either, by the way.
Yeah. You're just taking the easy way out. You're like, just bring it to me.
Just right. Why
I'm
not?
the friggin' mayor of Norwalk. Bring the Buc-ee's to me.
Bring the Buc-ee's here.
Do you know what Norwalk is, Buc-ee's? So I do need to get to I need to figure out what this obsession is and why it just caught fire. But to your point, nationally, it has caught fire. Like YouTubers are talking about it all the time. You brought up the annexation plan. I think you mentioned how many acres was this?
2,900.
Now, what's the status of the annexation plan then? Is that like how far along is that?
We've gone to the City Development Board. They have approved it. We've had a resident that lives within the area that is appealing the annexation.
Okay,
so it's in court right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so we know that most of the annexation is going to occur. Mm-hmm. If not all. Probably all. So we're just waiting for it to happen. We have a big developer that wants 300 acres within that annexation area.
Whoa!
And
who's that?
It's a secret. I can't tell you.
I almost had him.
We are calling it Project West.
Okay.
$500 million development going on 300 acres down there. So that's kind of what's propelling the whole thing.
Oh, got it.
And so
it's almost like having a seed investor before you go into a project. You kind of already have something that could go there.
Sure.
And it's not unusual when you're doing an annexation plan or a growth plan. It's change. Change is hard, and there are people that have emotional attachments to the current area.
Correct.
It's so normal, and it's just anytime you make changes like that, someone is going to be on they don't want it for whatever reason, not bad reasons. It's just kind of how life is.
Right.
So definitely a big project. So I guess I'm going to stay on you. We're going to figure out what this 500 million, 300 acre project is, hopefully in the future. Is it a data center by chance?
I can't say.
Because I think there is data center zoning being considered for that area, correct?
Oh, you've done your research. Yes.
I happen to do that from time to time.
Yeah. We've, it's called a technology overlay district that gives a technology developer certain rights within that zone, and there are certain fast track on making decisions that council and staff can do at that point in time, and myself.
So Iowa, for those that don't know, is a really attractive location for data centers because hats off to Mid-American Energy. Our energy here is very cheap. And also the location is good, 8035. I mean, there's so many variables if you really look into it. We've covered this issue on the show before.
Okay.
So the question is, do you need, and I don't even know if this is being floated. I know it has elsewhere in Altoona and other cities. Do you even need any tax incentives, or do you at Norwalk sit back and say, we know what we've got here in Iowa. We know we have access to jobs. We know we have access to cheap energy. If you want it, come get it. We're not giving you any tax breaks. Or do you go the tax break route? No trick question. People want to know. Yeah.
So I would say what we could be experiencing is that the developer is coming to us and saying we don't need any tax incentives, so we're going with the development agreement according to that.
Yeah.
So they're really not. They really don't want any incentives. Well, they probably want incentives, but they're not asking for any incentives. We're not offering any incentives. It's just coming down. We're coming to a pretty good agreement between the two of us.
Yeah, I'm hoping that city council people, mayors, governors, elected officials understand the value Iowa actually provides in the data center rush.
Right.
It's a lot of value, and I think in the past, They've maybe discounted the value Iowa has and extended very generous tax incentives that maybe we didn't really need to extend. And so I'm always like, Iowa, like this isn't a, beat my chest, Iowa's the best kind of thing. Iowa really does, if you go research it, have a unique positioning within data centers and that people really, really want to be here. Like the access,
right.
the fiber lines,
I think
the cheap energy.
Yeah, I think for some of the technology companies that are out there, Iowa was a flyover state for quite a while.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think we probably needed to give some of those incentives early on.
Oh, you think that kind of got things moving?
To get things
interesting.
To get some of these technology companies here in Iowa, and the other ones are looking, saying, "Hey, look at what they're doing in Iowa. Let's jump on board that bandwagon."
Yeah, that's interesting because they don't really bring tons of jobs, but they do bring development. They do bring economic.
Correct
Stuff, for lack of a better term.
They bring a lot of valuation, which can lower residential property taxes.
Oh, that's also true. That's a good point. Talking about residential, like you guys is it 43%? Is that right since 2010, or is that?
I believe that's
correct. Sixth in Iowa. Norwalk is the sixth fastest growing city in the state, not the region. The state, which is crazy. Where's everybody coming from? Do you have any, what are the big things driving that?
Right. Where people are coming from, I'm not really sure, because the whole metro area is growing.
It's true. Yeah. Not like you.
Right. But so where are those people coming from? Norwalk's building around 200, 250 houses a year. That's how many building permits.
Are you sure that's right? 250. It's like, I think it's 250 every 10 minutes.
Oh golly, no.
Sorry,
I hope not.
Go ahead.
So yeah, where are those people coming from? And I know, I would like to think that families, as their kids get older, that they're buying here in Iowa, because Iowa's a great place to raise kids, and So maybe that's where the growth is coming from. It's sort of more organic rather than from outside. But it's a good question. I've never really gotten a good answer about it.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to if you can survey people and say, where are you coming from?
Right.
Why did you come here?
Why did you come?
We're really happy you're here. Seriously, I feel like it's a new house. Like every 5 minutes down there. It's absolutely wild. I know that obviously Norwalk has its own school district.
Yes.
Is that a big thing driving movement? Like that does often drive people as school districts.
Correct. That's, I moved to Norwalk in 1990. I had a 6-month-old daughter at the time. That was the primary reason why we moved to Norwalk, was
really
because of the school district. We knew they had a good school district. We wanted, so we wanted to lay down some roots before my daughter was going to get into school.
Sure.
We also had some friends down there, and as we visited, you kind of like the feel and the vibe of the town.
Yeah.
So that's why we moved. Norwalk still has a small town feel. It's still something that we work on and try to promote. School district's still very good. So once people get down there, they also find out that, I work downtown Des Moines. It's a 25-minute drive both ways. It's an easy drive. I'm not dealing with a lot of traffic on I-235. I'm 10 minutes from the airport.
It's true. Yeah, it is.
I was
really
10
close
minutes
to the
from
airport.
Southridge Mall. I was 15 minutes from Jordan Creek Mall. It's a great location.
That's a good point, because that's actually a really good point. You're really close to the airport, and West Des Moines is a quick jump, quick non-congested jump, because it was like 5.
Yeah, Highway 5.
Yeah, do people is that close enough, or do they just take the highway over to 35?
No,
I guess they could go both.
They can go both.
Yeah.
Most usually go up to Highway 5 and go west.
Sure. Is the Highway 5 utilization what they thought it would be? Because it seems like it's always wide open.
Oh, when was last time you were down there?
Like last week, but it may have been like a dip in time. Is it because I know that was supposed to take pressure off 235
right.
and 3580. Has it been achieving that goal?
Oh, I believe so. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
okay, that's good.
And so much we've been working on making Highway 5, Highway 65, the whole bypass into. We've been asking for that to be designated as an interstate. That has gone through. Part of that has gone through the Iowa legislature. It is now going through federal legislature. We're hoping to get some language in the current transportation bill that will go through this fall. That will help make that an interstate rather than just highway.
And what does that mean when something is designated as an interstate? Obviously, if you guys are working on it, there's some interest that Norwalk has in that happening.
Right.
So what would be the interest what's the benefit to Norwalk?
Yeah, there are companies that, they have development checklists, and high on that development checklist is interstate access. And that interstate access means you got to be within 2 miles of an interstate.
Oh.
So, and we are not. Once the bypass is designated as an interstate, all of a sudden that development check mark gets checked. So for businesses coming in, it's huge.
Wow.
It's huge along the whole bypass corridor is going to be opening up for economic development because of the change to an interstate.
So the interstate, you're kind of working the interstate angle 2 different ways then, because you're annexing land to get near 35, and then you're trying to get the Highway 5 designated as an interstate. So these are huge economic advantages that Norwalk can tap into.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow, I had no idea. Is it like just because manufacturing or logistics and transportation companies, that's kind of one of the things they're always looking for? Is this generally the idea?
Right. Yeah, and well, to be real honest with you, there's restaurant national chains that they will only develop on an interstate. So
like Buc-ee's.
There you go, like Buc-ee's.
It all comes back to Buc-ee's. That's like the core piece. If anybody's not paying attention, that is the core piece of Norwalk economic development. It's like the capstone. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no.
I'm just totally kidding. Oh, so if this falls through, everyone's going to leave. Just kidding. Okay, so I wanted to go back to the schools. There are 1,000 open roles across Iowa. And I think my research, teacher roles, 1,000 open teacher roles. My research shows that Norwalk has I don't know if you have you're trying to fill teacher roles. It doesn't really pop up. It seems like you're fully staffed. But as people struggle to find teacher roles, are you mitigating that in the future? Is there any way you're mitigating that? Are you not worried that much about it? Is it not a problem?
So
it doesn't seem to be a problem.
So within Iowa, you got to realize that the city and the school districts are separate jurisdictions. The school district has their own superintendent, which the equivalent on a city would be a city manager. There's the school board. The city equivalent would be the city council. As far as what Norwalk, the city's doing is as an example, we had a developer come in that wants to change some of their apartments. They want to build an apartment building. They want to be able to put in studio apartments, which are going to be a much better price point for a new teacher, new cop, new firefighter, that type of thing. And so we have an ordinance. Our ordinance says that you have to have a balcony for an apartment.
Really?
Yep.
Oh.
So, and they came to us and they said, well, we want to put studio apartments in. We wanted to remove that
balcony requirement.
And so, council said, because we see the need, we see the opportunity to be able to have, like I said, new teachers actually live in Norwalk rather than have to find housing somewhere else.
Interesting. So preemptively lowering those commute times, basically.
Trying to, yes.
Yeah. Because Algona, I think it's Algona District right now, is starting to experiment with digital classrooms because I think for Spanish class, because they can't find teachers to teach that.
Oh,
and
wow.
so I know that DMPS right here in Des Moines is struggling with open positions as well. And so I don't know how pervasive this is across the state, but there do seem to be some communities like yours that are insulated from it for whatever reason. But another interesting thing you guys are doing in education is that your Parks and Rec, you guys tell me about this because I just got a tip from someone who lives in your community, loves living there, by the way.
Okay.
Parks and Rec is adding a homeschool enrichment program for the fall. What's this about? You may not know.
I do not know.
Okay.
That's first I've heard of it, I think.
We are going to do some research on that and post it on iowapodcast.com, as we always do. The last few things I wanted to end on are, and this is another thing that maybe you don't know, but there's rumors that Hy-Vee is building a grocery store in Norwalk because some super sleuths in your community found that they own a giant parcel of land at, I think, Colonial and Sunset.
Yes.
So is that going in the future?
In the future, yeah. But who knows when.
Sure.
Hy-Vee actually bought the property back, I think, in 2013, 2012. We had a development agreement with Hy-Vee that was negotiated in 2014. There's time limits on things, and that development agreement has expired. When residents ask, is Hy-Vee still going to build, or is Hy-Vee ever going to build? I usually tell them, when you go to Hy-Vee, you need to just pay cash, because when you use a credit card, when you use a check, or when you use your little perks card, the Hy-Vee perks card, they know exactly where you're from. And so if the majority of Norwalk residents are already shopping at Hy-Vee, why does Hy-Vee need to build?
Now, doesn't the opposite apply, though? And I don't know about this. This isn't my area, so I'm not challenging you on this. But doesn't the opposite apply, where if they see tons of people swiping cards from Norwalk, they're like, maybe that's an untapped market. Maybe we should put something there.
I would hope so, but I don't think that's the way it works at this point.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, in the developer agreement, I'm not too familiar with them, but that's kind of a formality that has to happen before development plans come in place, right? So people, when they do a development agreement, doesn't necessarily mean that plans are imminent. It's just kind of a first step to express interest in an area.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, and like with the development agreement, any incentives that the city's going to agree to are in that development agreement. So those types of items are in the development agreement. It doesn't mean that it's actually going to happen.
So it's more, it sounds like it's a Hy-Vee thing. It's not necessarily a Norwalk thing. It's a Hy-Vee thing where they're like, we're looking at Norwalk. We have the property. We're waiting and watching. And when we have our internal check boxes that are checked off for whatever reason, then we're coming in. Maybe they're waiting for the Buc-ee's in the Interstate. Who knows?
They might be.
Maybe they're that's one of the check boxes on their list. They're like, Buc-ee's, Interstate.
Yeah, I think our population, I think we need to grow our population a little bit more.
Oh, okay.
Before we start looking really, really attractive to Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee has their priorities, which I totally understand.
Sure.
When we first negotiated that development agreement back in 2014, they started opening up the Minneapolis stores. So that's where their development focus was at that point in time. And at this point in time, and they're looking at, I think, Indiana, Kentucky area that they're expanding into those areas. So Hy-Vee has a lot of good plans for Hy-Vee. They're growing. Hopefully they'll build in Norwalk sometime soon.
Yeah.
But
last question I have, but then I obviously want to give you an opportunity before I ask that. Just are there any things that are really notable in Norwalk that are off most Iowans' radar that they just need to know about? I know it seems kind of open-ended, but sometimes you just find gold when you ask these questions.
Right. I think we have some unique restaurants that have opened up in Norwalk. There's one called the Flamingo. We have Cooper's Central. There's a new name just left my head. Mullets. That's been opened up in Norwalk. We have some other things that are coming up. There's a place called Fairway Frank's Bar and Grill. That's going to be more like a sports bar type-ish place.
Really?
Yeah, we used to have a pizza restaurant called Pyra Pizza.
Uh-huh.
The owners of Pyra retired, so now somebody bought the building, and that's what's going to go into there. So
is that? I'm assuming that's related to the Fairway grocery store.
No, not at all.
No?
Nope.
Because isn't there like mascot Frank?
I think that's what Fairway's mascot name is, yes.
That's hilarious.
Yes.
Maybe there's a branding opportunity for the comms guy over there, Elias Johnson, who's been on this show. We're going to reach out to him and say, dude, you should partner up with this.
Yeah, well, Reynolds Kramer actually lives in Norwalk.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah, so yeah, he runs Fairway. So
that's so funny.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a lot of new stuff coming to Norwalk. We just opened up hotel earlier this year.
Fairfield, right?
Fairfield Inn.
Yeah, I saw that out there.
We're going to open up a Hilton True.
Oh, is that what
here.
that is? It's
yes.
right. It's very close to it.
Very close to it.
And then there's that sports complex right next to it.
Yes, that's where Mullet is. There's a Penn High Sports in there. They have golfing simulators. And
really?
Yeah.
This is called
pretty
what?
Cool. Penn High.
Really?
Yes.
Goodness.
It's quite the place. It's really nice. The fairway fields that are there, the whole Greg Young sports complex is a pretty cool place. Just kind of get out and walk around. If you want to see some ball games going on, we have in the summertime we have collegiate athletes that come in and play baseball. There's been times when we've had scouts here from several pro teams that are watching kids pitch and stuff.
Crazy.
It's pretty neat what's going on around there. So trying to make that area, it's called Norwalk Central, trying to make that area walkable so that you can just park and get out and walk around and see the sights.
Yeah, we were down there for a relative's kid's birthday party. And the last time we were down there, we go down there often. We just go a different way. And we went that direction by that thing. And I'm like, where did this all come from? I was just down here. And it just all came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like the sports complex and the hotel and the other hotel. It's just like popped out of nowhere. Right. Any like news? I know that there have been like the library is moving and expanding. Is there any news on that?
The library has purchased ground.
Okay.
Close to Norwalk Central, actually. And they are in the process of starting to raise funds and talking about how are we going to get this onto a ballot for a bond issue to build a new library.
What is like in the age of AI, in the age of technology, in the age of computers and Wi-Fi and devices, what does a brand new library look like? Like, what would that have?
That's a good question. It has some technology areas. It's going to have probably better Wi-Fi than what we have right now. That will be at no cost for kids, especially. I think some of the newer libraries, they just have some lounge areas for tweens and teens, just to kind of hang out, and it becomes a more community space rather than just a space where you can get books.
Yeah.
I think you can watch movies, that kind of stuff as well. So it's a new concept of the library. I think as the library campaign moves on, I think we're going to be able to see some videos as far as some concepts of what it's going to look like, how kids are going to interact within that space. I think if you look at the data, if the data shows that having a book in your hand is the best way to learn to read.
It's true.
And how to, you turn the pages, you're looking at the words, it's a lot more tactile, it's in your hands. So I think having books is important.
What you're saying is backed up by a lot, like mountains of research.
Yeah.
And if anybody's very curious about that, I would recommend Nicholas Carr's book, The Shallows, where he talks about the physical act of reading, like actual paper reading, and how it neurologically helps in learning. And he talks about the kind of the malleable, flexible nature of screens and why your brain struggles because it needs page topography to learn. Okay. Which is why I have this tablet that's actually e-ink. It's, So anyway, there's a ton of research, actually. What you're saying rings true. And it's one of those things that I'm kind of like, what sucks is like people turning away from libraries and like letting them kind of dilapidate in some cities because I find myself as a tech person wanting to go to a library to find a place to sit with a physical book that's quiet, that's distraction free. That's almost one of the things I'm like, do libraries have more value in, and this is like obviously something you guys will need to figure out, but do libraries have more value in having no tech, like no screens at all? Like, I don't know the answer to that, but I'm like, I'm finding myself these days really desiring a third space I can go to where people aren't on their laptops or on calls, where I can read a book, go up to a little bar that has like tea or coffee or something, and sit in an Eames lounger. It doesn't have to be an original. Those are like 10,000, but it can be a knockoff, but a nice lounger and just read in a nice setting. I'm finding myself wanting that, and I'm finding myself figuring it out that it does not exist anywhere. Maybe in some bigger cities it does. So what you're saying rings true. Like, I think that the need for libraries may increase as technology and distraction increases. People might want some kind of well-designed space. So I'm really excited to see the plans and what you guys are figuring out. And what you've said rings really true, which is the physical nature of a book is super valuable. I would encourage everybody to research that stuff. Mayor Tom Phillips, the mayor of Norwalk. What's the website for people to go learn more about the town?
Norwalk.iowa.gov.
And then where do people go to sign this the Buc-ee's thing? Where do people go?
The Buc-ee's thing. We have a Facebook page that's Bring Buc-ee's, and Buc-ee's is spelled Buc-ees.
Yes, yeah.
To Iowa.
It's so.
and then from there is a link to the change.org petition. Just go to change.org, link on that petition, and sign it. And we're going to get Buc-ee's in Norwalk.
We're going to do this. We're going to go iowapodcast.com/Norwalk. We're going to put this episode there. We'll put a link to it there with a big orange button or
cool.
We'll put a link there. The goal is to beat the snot out of Simon Conway. That's really the only goal. Is to just that's my only goal.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Mayor Tom Phillips of Norwalk, thank you so much for coming on the Iowa podcast. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting me. It's been fun.
And to my fellow Iowans, Iowa expats, and Iowans at heart, thanks for listening and subscribing to the Iowa podcast.